You haven't seen a lot of Vice President Kamala Harris lately, have you? I think it's because, well, at least what's being reported, her polling is really, really, really bad, and particularly as it relates to the border issue. This is a disaster, and people infected, reportedly with the coronavirus or the Delta variant, same thing, are flowing over it. I just saw actually a photo, maybe an hour ago, of about 1,000 people standing under an overpass right in McAllen, Texas, right where one of my radio affiliates, KURV, is located. Congressman Glenn Grothman of Wisconsin got back from his 4th trip to the border this year, and he joins us now to explain why apparently the border is a contagiousness-free area. Congressman, thanks for being here. Good to see you. So we're told to follow the science. So explain to us what you've seen about how apparently the border is just, you don't get the virus down there. It's contagion-free.
Oh, it's just getting worse every way you look at it. I just talked to someone in the Rio Grande sector. They said another all-time high in apprehensions last week. You are right. They will only test people if they already have a temperature. Otherwise, they're sending them in to non-governmental organizations, particularly Catholic charities. They are putting people up in hotels. People are leaving the hotels. So we have people, not just people who are not vaccinated, people with the COVID coming across their southern border, which in addition is a problem in addition to the fact just the sheer numbers crossing the border. We still don't have the total numbers across the border in June, which by itself is a little bit of a scandal, because normally we'd have those numbers by now. But we know over 70,000 new people entered the United States in May, record numbers, just such a problem as America is changing before our eyes. And I really sometimes think when Joe Biden brings up other things, it's so we take our eyes off the border, which is the biggest problem we face.
I think that's a really good point, Congressman. It is a huge problem. And just last week I was hearing numbers of border agents which we already have too few on the ground near the border anyway. And I've been down to the RGV Valley, I've been down to that sector, and it's a huge area. And I was really astounded to see just how few Border Patrol agents there were on the ground to patrol it. But Congressman, now they're also becoming infected and then having to quarantine, which leaves us with even fewer agents.
Oh, absolutely. Between the agents who have the COVID themselves and agents who have to process the little children. This time a year ago, about 6,000 people were entering every month. Now it's over 70,000 every month, and that was 2 months ago. It's probably greater today. And so much of that is because the Border Patrol cannot guard the border. And shockingly, if you look at this budget that's right now working its way through Congress, again and again, there are lines 35%, 50% increase in items, but Homeland Security gets no increase. It's like Joe Biden spends money like a drunken sailor on everything except for the Border Patrol. And now that the Border Patrol is having to babysit the new children are coming here, more than ever, we desperately need more people at that border.
Yeah, Congressman, I was today on air, I was going over everything that was in the infrastructure spending bill and how we're apparently paying, I don't know, I remember how many millions for removal of invasive plant species and apparently Amtrak from U.S. to Canada. But the border is infrastructure, and I've only read through, a portion of the trillion pages that the lobbyists wrote, but I didn't see anything in there so far for the border, Congressman.
No, and it's horrible. Anybody who's down there sees all the parts of the wall that intended to go up. They're being stolen at night, or we have to spend money guarding them. So the
people are stealing parts of the wall? I don't mean to interrupt you, but people are stealing parts of the wall?
For the metal. Not the wall that's been built, all the parts of the metal that was supposed to be going up.
But still.
And they take them at night. Why wouldn't they? So it's just kind of amazing the chaos they have down there. But that's how little respect they have for the wall. Not only are they not building it, but the pieces that are sitting there, stacked up along the border are disappearing.
Yeah, Congressman, talk to me about how, because we hear all these numbers that are coming in of infected people coming in from the border. If I or you were, you're in Congress, so you might have a little bit more of a network than I do. But if I were to leave the country and come back into the country, I would have to prove that I am coronavirus negative to get in. But apparently at the southern border, you do not.
Absolutely. You're in much better shape coming here illegally than if you come here legally. And not only that, of course, when you come back, you've got to show identification. People are coming here without any identification, which first of all is ridiculous in its own right. It puts the illegals in a preferable place compared to the average American. But even more, when you come here with identification, without identification, we can't check your criminal background record. Now, right now, the number of people coming across with a criminal record who are caught is way higher than it was this time last year. But that doesn't include people who we have no way of checking. And if they show up without an ID, you know what we do? We let them in anyway. We buy them a plane ticket wherever they want. And I saw it because I was at the McAllen part of the border. On my flight out, I bet there were 15 to 20 illegal immigrants on that flight, which is not unusual at all. Just give them a name. It doesn't make any difference if you have a criminal background record, murder, rapist, we don't care. Just don't give us a name. And we'll give you an airline ticket to wherever you want to go, Chicago, Denver, New York, wherever you want. Off they go, which explains why when I watched the illegal immigrants march from the Rio Grande River to the Border Patrol station, everybody had a smile on their face. When they saw a Border Patrol agent, no fear in their eyes because they know what's going to happen. We're going to give you a free ticket wherever you want in the country.
Yeah, at taxpayer expense, apparently also, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. So taxpayer expense, and then of course sorry, go ahead, Congressman.
The most organization we have at the border, sadly, because we have a shortage of border patrol agents, is the Mexican drug cartels. Whether you're sneaking across the middle of nowhere in the Arizona desert, or whether you are coming across the Rio Grande River on a boat, you are paying the Mexican drug cartels for letting you across. Indeed, on the boats, people have a little
wristbands,
tag around a wristband. You've got a wristband like you used to get into the county fair, and that wristband designates which gang is getting you there. It indicates what the good or the bad tour you're getting as you work your way up from Central America. Good boat, small boat, train, airplane. How are you getting from southern Mexico across the border? Depending upon where you're coming from, $3,000 to $20,000 to get across. And by the way, I see right now you're showing a boat. You know what would happen on that boat if the Border Patrol approached that boat? If they had a 3-year-old child on that boat, they'd throw the child overboard. And you know why they do that? They know we're a compassionate country. And our Border Patrol will save that 3-year-old from dying rather than go after the smuggler on the boat. So whether they're sneaking across people or they're sneaking across drugs, which is a whole other problem, they think nothing of throwing a little child in the Rio Grande.